All right, this morning we're going to sharpen some salon shears, and I'm going to go through the first part of my procedure of how I sharpen salon, barber, and pet grooming shears. Today these are salon shears from a nice little young lady from a salon, local salon, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So this is my shear sharpening procedure checklist that I created for teaching other people how to sharpen shears. This is just my procedure. It's not foolproof by any means. I don't call myself a master sharpener, but we're going to go through just the inspection section of my procedure here on this video, and I hope it's helpful. If you would like to have a copy of my shear sharpening procedures, you can email me and I'll send you it's a Excel spreadsheet, and you can do whatever you want with it. So we're going to go through this first section right here. All right, so the first thing I do when I get the shear in is I want to clean it really good. As you can see, there's all kinds of hair and oil and everything on the shear right now. So I clean everything with isopropyl alcohol before I disassemble it. I just want them to be clean. I want to have a good visual inspection of the shear, looking for any imperfections in the blade, refractions of light. And so already I can see on the ride line some rough areas on the ride line. I can see some refractions of light. I can see a little issue there at the tip. Sorry, there's a truck outside. We already got some washing out of the tip right there. All right, got really noisy there. So we have a washing out of the tip and have a very thin ride line. Everything looks pretty good. We're going to open and close it and see how we feel about the shear. And I can already tell it's not closing the way it should right there. We got just a tiny, tiny gap in the shear. So we got to fix that. So we're either going to have to take this bumper down or we're going to have to adjust the shear itself. So we want to make sure, does it have all of its parts to it? Is it missing anything? Is it missing the bumper? Is it missing the finger rest on it? This one's got a fixed finger rest. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a dry tissue test. Then we're going to do a wet tissue test. And then we're going to do a hair test, cutting real human hair. So we got our shear clean and everything. We have the tension adjusted pretty well. So we're going to do a dry tissue test, and I'm just going to kind of feel it. And you can see it doesn't cut real well on the dry tissue test. It's very, very clunky. So let's go ahead and do a wet tissue test. We already know the edge is not right, so we don't have to do a wet tissue test if we don't want to. We know it's a bad edge, but we're going to show you anyway. It's not too bad. You can see it's kind of pulling there at the tip, and it's a rough looking cut. That's not a clean cut that I want for a salon shear. So the next thing we're going to do is the hair cutting test. All right, we're going to make sure our shear is dry. And then we're going to get out our real human hair. And I like to cut it at the back. Back's not bad. Middle's pushing a little bit, and the tip is definitely pushing. So it's not horrible. It's not the worst salon shear I've found, but they do need to be sharpened. So we've gone through the inspection, done everything. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and disassemble it. We know we got issues. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the set. And you got a couple of different options on checking the set. Make sure we make note of all the parts, how it goes back together. At this point, we might as well continue cleaning it. So there's all of our parts. Keep them in a little container. I like to clean them with rubbing alcohol. Put that aside. Put our human hair over there. Let's clean these a little bit better. You can see it's got some schmutz in the middle. We can see more of that damage and that thin ride line. So we got that cleaned up a little bit there. And I can see where I need to work the ride lines. I don't see any major dings or anything in it, but that looks pretty good. So you got a couple of different issues, or excuse me, different ways of checking the set. The old-fashioned way is using your straight edge on your bending tool. This is a flat straight edge, so you can look. You can check your set by looking up at the light, holding it like that. You want it to touch at the pivot area, and you want it to touch at the tip and have a nice even arc underneath for both blades. Okay. If money's no object, you can go to Hamagura USA, Dennis Brooks, and buy his light box, and you can see what your set looks like. And the set looks pretty good on these shears. I don't think there's an issue with set here. That one may need a little arc to it. Let me clean that. I got a little water on it. I think we're okay. I think the set on these shears, nice and even, touches at the pivot area, touches at the tip. So we're not going to change the set on these shears. So from here, I'm going to go on out and do the ride lines on my whetstones. But this is the end of this particular video of the inspection part of it on my shear sharpening procedures. Like I said, if you want a copy of this, you're welcome to have it. Just email me and I'll send you a copy of it. It's not rocket science, and these videos are not designed to take the place of professional training. If you want a list of trainers in the United States, I've created a list of trainers. You're welcome to contact all of them and find somebody whose personality meets their personality and teaching style meets your needs, and you can learn how to sharpen salon and barber and pet grooming shears. Thanks for watching.